Hello again. Today I'm back with new video about game Stratego. I played against a very strong player, judging by his statistics. As you'll see, he has over 90% win rate, which is very similar to my score. So this was very intense battle. As usually, I started with captain forward. He was playing in the center, so I just scouted the side to find out whether he has bomb there. He gave me a sergeant for a lieutenant, which is great, because now even if I will lose the lieutenant, I will gain some intel. I found the lieutenant, so again I'll do the same thing. I will take the piece with one higher piece and then get some intel in return. I took it and he didn't recapture me back, which means there are no strong pieces around, and the one that just went forward is probably something low like miner or sergeant. Now he went with this piece, which I figured could be a strong piece, so I became afraid of it. Now I probably should have allowed him to take the piece, so I'd find some intel, but since this is a strong player, every piece matters. As it turns out, it was just a bluff, but you never know, you wanna be cautious. I wasn't really sure what to do on the left side, so I started playing on the right side. I found lieutenant, so I planned on going up with my captain, but he took my lieutenant. Well, he attacked my lieutenant with his sergeant, so I was very happy to get the extra piece and then do some trades. You should note that I am down to scouts. I should have been more wary about it, because eventually I will just run out of scouts and he will have multiple of them. And I still haven't found anything useful. Now I found the major for a known lieutenant, which was great. I can definitely make use of that at some point. Here I missed click. I meant to bluff with my scout, but unfortunately I went 2 squares instead of 1, so I lost a scout for nothing. Literally a terrible move. It couldn't have been worse. So now I at least bluffed his major. He retreated, and I was still afraid of the piece on the left. He wasted the scout on my miner, which is great. Always like to see that. And now he's just running away with his major. So far we haven't really found anything useful. No great intel. Eventually we wanna find his marshal, and then we would like to attack on the left side with my general. I was very cautious about the piece that was deep in my territory, so I decided that I was finally gonna find out what it was. Here we traded majors, which is great for me because it was a known major for unknown major. And now I have both of my scout on the left side ready. I will find out what that piece actually is. But unfortunately it was just lieutenant. But this tells me something. He is good at bluffing, so I can expect him to bluff a lot during the game to find some strong pieces. So even though I just lost a scout for basically nothing, this was a really good information. I still remember his lieutenant on the right side in the corner, so I just went after it. First I defended my known captain with unknown colonel, and then I went for it. He's doing a lot of shuffling on the left side. Probably there's one, during the game I thought there was at least one good piece, but unfortunately there was nothing. Now here I took his major knowing that I'm gonna lose my colonel, but I figured I was gonna gain some huge intel. And I found his marshal, which is really good. Because now I can destroy everything on the left side with my general. He took my lieutenant with his captain, which is not ideal, but there was nothing better I could do. And now it's time to make my general do something. I will probably get all 3 pieces that are in there. Got a mainer. I hoped I was gonna get something better, but at least something. And I know that the last piece is the lieutenant. At least if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, it was the piece I scouted, which was lieutenant. I finally got it. So now I have a nice small how's it called? Material advantage. I am down a colonel, but I have a major for it, so that's alright. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I allowed him to trap my general, but I ran away with my captain. Unfortunately, I have no idea where could his general or his colonels or even his spy be. So at this point I have to play super cautiously and take my time. He's trying to make a use of the 2-square rule, but since I know it, I'm not gonna lose a general just like that. The same applies for the captain, and yeah, but all of the pieces on the left side are safe. So now he's gonna have to do something else. Since he bluffed a lot at the beginning, I expect him to do the same here. So I won't have to be afraid of taking some of his pieces, because most of the time it will be just low pieces to find intel with. Starting with the piece in the center. And it was just a lieutenant, so this was great. This was great taking. I understood the way he plays, so I adjusted to that. I also tried to make it look that my scout is martial. Unfortunately, that didn't work for very long. We traded the captains, both of which were known, so it was alright. And I found a major, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, he now finds another one of mine, so that is less good. Now I can expect him to bluff a lot. So I shouldn't have wasted a scout like this, but at least it was a trade. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I tried to get my, I think, colonel in right now. I moved with my miner, so I could go in with my colonel. Or no, at this point I went up with the miner to bluff. I will stop it. I moved my miner so I could go here with this piece, make it look like something strong that wants to attack here, maybe the marshal, and then when something chases me off, I'll go back, and he's not gonna expect this piece to be the spy, so it's a long-term trap for his marshal. I mean, this kind of trap works like in 1 of 10 games, but when it does, it makes a huge impact. Now, I wasn't really sure if this was good piece, but once it went next to my marshal, I knew it was something weak, so I took it with my major. And he still doesn't know where my marshal is, nor my colonel. Now, I didn't think this was something good, although I should have understood that now he knows that both of the strong pieces are on the right side. He doesn't know which is which, but he knew that they were there. So he went in with captain, which at this point is pretty strong. I didn't want to get in with my marshal because he might scout it, so I played it slowly. Also, I'm up miner, so I won't mind wasting one. And here I figured it was something bad. And I will just go back for a second. Right here, when I went up, I knew that it could have been colonel, but that was unlikely. Also unlikely it was a major. It could have been a captain, or it could have been a sergeant. The lower pieces would just trade, or I'd get something extra. So the only risk I was taking is that it is his sergeant. But since he hasn't moved many pieces from the back, I believe that at least one sergeant is in there. So it could have been either the captain or the scout. So that's why I took a risk of coming up with my miner. Of course, it could have been a miner on his part, and then we would have traded, but this was even better. So here I wasn't really sure what to do. I didn't like the fact that he had so much intel on me, so I played it slowly and carefully. Again, I didn't think it was a good piece since he went all the way down, so I had no problem with taking that with my major. But now I should expect him to come down with a colonel. So that's probably a 1. He bluffed a lot, so now it would make sense if he would have stopped. Just to confirm it, it was 1. So I try to make a trap that I will attack it with my colonel. He won't know what it is, so he will go on the other side and I will recapture it with my real marshal. But he saw through it, so that was unfortunate. But I am still up a lot of material, so the position is good for me. All I have to do now is find his general and his colonel, and then I can just go after him. Of course, finding his spy would also have helped, but I don't think that's gonna be easy. So he's going down with something strong. I didn't think it was a good piece during the game, but looking at it now, it makes sense. He will just go with one strong piece from the middle, one from the right, and then on one side he will find my marshal, on the other side he will start taking things. So this definitely makes sense. Also, now that he went here with this piece, he wanted to scout my marshal, so this tells me that this is a scout, and I am fairly confident about that. It wouldn't really make much sense if it was anything else. So now I can adjust to it. He's going back with this piece, so it probably wasn't something very strong, but I'm still kinda afraid of what it was. We're doing a lot of shuffling here, and now this piece came out of nowhere. His marshal was here, which means his general was probably somewhere over here, so it might be this piece or this piece. And now that he went here with this piece, I believe this might be the spy. So I also have to be worried about that. But since he has so huge intel lead, I wanted to play very slowly, just not to risk anything, do a lot of shuffling, maybe he would forget which is which. And only once I was confident about my position, I would go after him. Only once I find his strong pieces. Now this is definitely a strong piece. This is a power piece. He placed it here so he can now go from the center and find out what is which is which. Looking back, I should have probably attacked it with my miner to actually know for sure what it was. But I didn't want to move any more pieces. I already had a lot of liabilities in the center. Yeah, and the more the game progresses, the more I believe this is the scout. And I also believe this is a low piece. I probably should have taken it, but I was too scared. Also now I should have just gone in with my marshal, but since he put the piece here and stopped, this tells me this is the spy. So that's a little bit more of information. So this is scout, this is spy, this is marshal, which means this is a power piece and he has somewhere another power piece. And here I made mistake, I allowed him to scout me, which was just stupid. So he very easily found my marshal, even though I knew it was a scout. He went in with the colonel and got huge material, which was again very unfortunate. But since I am still up a lot of lieutenants and sergeants, it's not that bad. Of course, I was also up a captain, so losing one is also unfortunate. Now he's running with this piece, which tells me it's something very good. So I went after it, and I also remembered that this piece moved, so I knew I was gonna get one of those. If not both. And I was very happy to get the major. I still wanna know what this piece is. So I believe I decided to sacrifice my spy at some point, just to find out what this is. And as it turns out, it was general. So now I know everything. Spy, general, marshal, colonel. So Yeah, too bad that I didn't realize it at the time, but all I had to do was just go with my marshal around to his marshal, trade them, and then just keep trading. I realized it during the game, but maybe like, I don't know, 50 moves later. So there will be a lot of shuffling here. I think I will speed this up for a bit because nothing happened in a long time. This is the spy, this is general, this is colonel, and this is marshal. So I wanted to win his spy, but that was easier said than done. Also, we can now try to look at his structure in the back. He might have a bomb here, but unlikely, because he didn't really have much defense here, and his marshal was on the other side. So his flag is either here or here. This would make sense. Statistically, the bomb should be here, here, and here. So his flag should be here, but you don't know for sure. Now this piece moved, so I decided to win it with my major, and he can't really stop me from doing that. This piece moved too, so I wanted to at some point win that one too, but also not easy. Now at least I started to realize that I have to run away from the other side. It took me a while, but eventually I got to it. He's trying to trap me with his spy, but I can just try to take it with my major, and he can't really trap me there. This is his colonel, this is his spy. So now I moved new piece. Okay, here was interesting moment. I'll go a little bit back, and I will go back to the original speed. Now I know this is his spy and this is a colonel. So when I moved my major here, he could have taken it with his colonel. But then I would either get the colonel or the spy, because I'd go here with my sergeant. And once one of these two pieces were gone, even for the price of major and sergeant, I could actually play relatively easily. So he understood it, unfortunately, so I went back. But now I at least could go easily on the other side. I still haven't realized this was the correct plan, but in a few minutes I'll do just that. Yeah, I'll go in the future a bit. And okay, just so you know for sure, this is general, this is colonel, this is spy, this is marshal, and this is something he just went, this is something he went here. He offered me a draw, which told me that he didn't want to shuffle anymore, so I decided I finally have to do something, because I obviously want to win. And now I finally started to understand that I have to go on the other side. It took me a while, but eventually I got to it. And now I'm going there. Okay, this is his colonel, this is his general, and I believe this is his spy, but we are gonna trade marshals here, so it won't matter much. So marshal's gone. That was first step. Now is the time to trade some more. Even if I lose this major, all I have to do is just trade our generals. And then winning should be relatively easy, because I am up 2 lieutenants and up 3 sergeants. Also up a minor, but that's not that important. I know this piece has moved, so I just went after it. Now I decided to let his colonel go, because there was nothing I could get out of it. And and I went. Now I here realized that okay, he's trapping my major, but as I said, I could lose the major if I will trade the generals. So I went up, and he doesn't really want to take it because I'm still up way too much things. So got a miner, and now I notice this moved, so I'm going after it too. The center is blocked, but since there are other paths, it doesn't really matter. Traded sergeants, so now I have 3 lieutenants and 2 lieutenants and 3 sergeants. He can take them only with 3 pieces, either colonel, general, or captain. If I will find his captain, then it's just over, and I can even sacrifice some pieces. Found his captain, so now I decided it's time to trade them. And the more I trade, the closer to victory I am. And this is what happens when you play with good opponents. You will get very low on material, and every piece is gonna matter. So this is his call, so I definitely don't want to take that, but I do want to get around for this captain. I can give a major for it. I don't really I wouldn't mind it. I just need to get it off the board. So I decided to bring my general closer, just in order to trade the captains. I mean, once I do that, he will have really hard time to stopping me on all the sides. Now he still has 3 power pieces, general, colonel and captain, but once he will have only 2, he will have to choose whether he will block the center, the right side, on the left or the left side. And I have 3 miners, so I can go up on either one of the sides, and I can also bluff other piece to go there. Anyway, finally traded the captains, so yep, also his general is now trapped. He will not be able to run away from my general, so he decided to lotto and found 1 miner, so that's good for him. But this miner is gonna be hard to stop. I still didn't want to hit it. I wanted to get more pieces in case this was his miner, and then he would understand that he can just block more of the sides and take everything, and I couldn't really afford to do that. Since I had only 1 miner left, if he would have seen through my bluffs, he would get through. So this is more safe approach. Just wait, get all the pieces in, and only once you're absolutely ready to strike, you'll go in. I will skip this part a bit, right to here, and here I had enough pieces in that I decided it's time to strike in. Found the bomb, so now I'm just going forward, and if I'll find another bomb, that's okay. But I found the flag. So just like that, I won against very strong opponent. Yep, I hope you enjoyed the video.